This is Act 5, Scene 1 of Julius Caesar. Brutus and Cassius's army have marched to Philippi. They are much weaker now. They have less food. They haven't rested. Their morale is low, but they've done it anyway, and so we are preparing for battle. Now, just before the battle in this time period, the leaders of the armies will get together and kind of talk. Sometimes they'll do a little bit of smack talk, and this is what we open with in this scene.
Now, Antony, our hopes are answered. You said the enemy would not come down, but keep the hills and upper regions. It proves not so. Their battles are at hand. They need to warn us of Philippi here, answering before we do demand them.
I am in their bosoms, and I know wherever they do it. They could be content to visit other places, and come down with fearful bravery, thinking by this place to fasten in our thoughts that they have courage, but 'tis not so.
This is Antony and Octavius discussing the looks of the army. They say, oh man, they look really rough and tough. We had no idea they were actually going to march to us. We thought we were going to have to attack them. And Antony says, I wouldn't worry about that. They are just trying to look tough, but we know that they're not.
Generals, the enemy comes on in gallant show. Their bloody sign of battle is hung out and something to be done immediately.
Octavius, speak your battle softly upon the left hand of the even field.
Upon the right hand, keep thou the left.
Why do you cross me in this exigent way?
Okay. It's important to know that as Brutus and Cassius's army march in, they're holding a bloody sign of battle, which is a flag that means our army is ready to fight. You need to know that for the text.
Do not cross you, but I will do so.
They stand and would have parley.
Stand fast, Bithynius, we must out and talk.
Mark Antony, shall we give sign of battle?
No, Caesar, we will answer on their charge.
Parley is they want to talk.
Make forth. The generals would have some words.
Sir, not until the signal.
They're not.
Words before blows? Is it so, countrymen?
Not that we love words better as you do.
Good words are better than bad strokes, Octavius.
In your bad strokes, Brutus, you give good words. Witness the hole you made in Caesar's heart, crying, long live, hail, Caesar.
Antony, the posture of your blows are yet unknown, but for your words, they rob the Hyplobees and leave them honeyless.
Not stingless, too.
Oh, yes, and soundless, too. For you have stolen their buzzing, Antony, and very wisely threat before you sting.
Villains! You did not so when your vile daggers hacked one another in the sides of Caesar. You showed your teeth like apes, and fawned like hounds, and bowed like bondmen kissing Caesar's feet, whilst damned Casca, like a cur behind, struck Caesar on the neck. Oh, you flatterers!
This is that trash talk I was talking about. Calls them villains. This is Antony talking to the conspirators. Says that you hacked up Caesar. You showed your teeth like an ape. Calling them monkeys. You were like dogs. You fawned like hounds. Okay? And damned Casca was a cur. This is the trash talk.
Flatterers! Now, Brutus, thank yourself. This tongue is not offended so today. If Cassius might have ruled.
Cassius looks at Brutus and says, we would not have to listen to his trash talk if we would have killed him in the first place, like I told you we should. Cassius is now kind of throwing that in Brutus's face.
Come, the cause. If arguing makes us sweat, the proof of it will turn to redder drops. Look, I draw a sword against conspirators. When think you that the sword goes up again? Never. Till Caesar's 33 wounds be well avenged, or till another Caesar have added slaughter to the sword of traitors.
Caesar, thou canst not die by traitors' hands unless thou brings them with thee.
Okay, so Octavius says, if you kill me, then I will just die at the hands of traitors, like Julius Caesar did. And he says, you can't die by traitors' hands unless you stab yourself, because you're the traitor. Okay, remember that Caesar is a title. Okay, and so that's why we hear Octavius being called Caesar. Don't get confused.
So I hope. I was not born to die on Brutus' sword.
Oh, if thou wert the noblest of thy strain, young man, thou couldst not die more honorable. Peevish schoolboy, worthless of such honor.
joined with a masker and a reveler. Old Cassius still.
Come, Antony, away.
Okay, the trash talk that we've been discussing. Okay, you peevish schoolboy, you're joined with a masker and a reveler, a party boy, and basically like a poser.
Defiance traitors, are we in your teeth? If you dare fight today, come to the field. If not, when you have stomachs, go.
Why not blow winds, swell billow, and swim bark? The storm is up and all is on the hazard.
Oh, Lucilius, hark, a word with you.
My lord. Messala. What's this, my general? Messala, this is my birthday. This very day was Cassius born. Give me thy hand, Messala. Be thou my witness that against my will, as Pompey was, I am compelled to set upon one battle all our liberties. You know that I held Epicurus strong and his opinion. Now I change my mind and partly credit things that do presage. Coming from Sardis, on our former ensign, 2 mighty eagles fell, and there they perched, gorging and feeding from our soldiers' hands, who divided by here consorted us. This morning are they fled away and gone, and in their steads do ravens, crows, and kites fly o'er our heads, and downward look on us as we were sickly prey. Their shadows seem a canopy most fatal, under which our army lies ready to give up the ghost.
Cassius pulls Messala aside and he says, listen to this. Today is my birthday and I want you to remember these words. I am fighting against my will. This is Brutus's idea and I don't want to fight right now. Just as Pompey was forced to fight a battle that he did not want to fight, that depended on whether or not he lived or died and he had freedom or not, I am having to do that too. He said, I don't believe in omens, but an ensign saw 2 mighty eagles fall, and they were eating from our soldiers' hands. Then today they left, and now ravens, crows, and kites fly over the heads and downward look on us as we were sickly prey. Okay, so he says, now these birds that eat dead bodies are flying over us and looking at us as if they're going to eat us soon. I think we might die soon.
Believe not so. I but believe it partly, for I am fresh of spirit and resolved to meet all perils very constantly.
Even so, Lucilius.
How, most noble Brutus, the gods today stand friendly, that we may, lovers in peace, lead on our days to age. But since the affairs of men rest still uncertain, let's reason with the worst that may befall. If we do lose this battle, then is this the very last time we shall speak together. What are you then determined to do?
Even by the rule of that philosophy by which I did blame Cato for the death which he did give himself, I know not how. But I do find it cowardly and vile, for fear of what might fall, so to prevent the time of life, arming myself with patience to stay the providence of some high powers that govern us below.
Then if we lose this battle, you are contented to be led in triumph through the streets of Rome.
No, Cassius, no. Think not, thou noble Roman, that ever Brutus will go bound to Rome. He bears too great a mind. But this same day must end that work the Ides of March begun, and whether we shall meet again, I know not. Therefore I'll everlasting farewell take, forever and forever. Farewell, Cassius. If we do meet again, why, we shall smile. If not, why, then this parting was well made.
Brutus and Cassius are kind of saying final goodbyes right now. Brutus thinks they could win. Cassius does not think they can win, but Brutus says, one thing is for certain. If we lose, the one thing, and you need to know this, the one thing that I refuse to do is to be led through the streets of Rome as a prisoner. Because what will happen is at the end of the war, whoever takes control of Rome will take their prisoners of war and parade them through the streets of Rome, and people will stand on the side of the streets and kind of make fun of the captives and just scoff at them. And Brutus says, I will not be shamed like that. I will die before I will let them capture me.
Forever and forever farewell, Brutus. If we do meet again, we'll smile indeed. If not, 'tis true this parting was well made.
Why then, lead on. Oh, that a man might know the end of this day's business ere it come. But it sufficeth that the day will end, and then the end is known. Come home. Away!
I wish I could predict what will happen later, but I can't. That's what he says. And we will step up with scene 2 in the next video.